The year is 2003, and Kirby Air Ride has just been released on the Nintendo GameCube. Kirby Air Ride started its life in 1995 on the Nintendo 64 as a game called Kirby Bowl 64. This, along with Super Mario 64, were the first two demos ever shown from the Nintendo 64 at the 1994 Shonshinkai show. While Super Mario 64 garnered unbridled praise, the same can't be said for Kirby Bowl 64. Being a Marble Madness type game with some not-so-stellar graphics, Sakurai and HAL Laboratories decided to try and change up the gameplay formula to that of a skateboarding game. When they saw that development was still kinda stagnant, they put the project on hold and cancelled Kirby Bowl 64 altogether. Maybe we'll talk about that in a future Releasing the Unreleased episode. Fast forward to March 2003, at the DICE Summit in Las Vegas, a short video preview for Kirby Air Ride was born. When this game was shown off, people hated it. They criticized it for being slow and also having bad graphics. The first playable demo of the game would be available at E3 2003, and after actually being able to play the game, people loved it. Shortly after Kirby Air Ride was released, Masahiro Sakurai decided to resign from HAL Laboratories. His reason being that he was getting sick of the pressure HAL would put on him to create never-ending sequels. That's right, this is the final Kirby game in the entire franchise that Sakurai directed. Will its troubled and frustrating development show, or is this the final swan song for the Kirby franchise that Sakurai deserves? Let's find out. This game doesn't have a story. It's also a kart racer though, so I didn't really expect there to be. I don't think it's really fair to give this game a bad mark just because it's a kart racer with no story. If it had a story, that would have elevated the experience, but I'm not gonna fault it for not having one. So we'll just skip over this section. Kirby Air Ride has 3 game modes: Air Ride, Top Ride, and City Trial. Air Ride is your standard racing fare. You pick your car and then you must get to the end of the stage as fast as you can and beat all of your opponents. All of the different stars that you unlock are definitely very unique from each other. I have to ask though, why do so many of them suck so much ass? Literally so many of them make playing the game so much harder than it is an actual upgrade. I feel like it's such a problem that one of the best stars in the game is the one you start with. Take this star for example. The only way this star moves is if you fill up the boost gauge very slowly, and then it acts as a type of fuel. Once you run out, you stop. Every time you hit the A button to refuel, you stop. How the hell are you supposed to win a race with this? How about this one that is apparently the fastest star, but never gets up to the top speed it promises? It's frustrating, to say the least. There are only 3 stars in this game that are actually worth using. The Swerve Star takes some getting used to, but it's fast as hell once you get the hang of it. The Basic Star handles well and boosts pretty good, and then the Jet Star handles and boosts almost the same as the Starting Star, but when it hits the air, it zooms forward really fast. The second game mode, Top Ride, takes a top-down perspective of the races and has you zoom around in a racetrack, not that unlike Micro Machines. This game mode is kinda boring. You just kinda zoom around the track as fast as you can, but there's really no reason to play this over Air Ride. The last game mode is definitely the best one and is what this game is known for: City Trial. All 4 players start with the Compact Star and are let loose in a city. The players have as much time as the player gave themselves in the settings to find as many stat upgrades as possible, as well as finding the Air Ride machine that they want just scattered around the map. While you go around upgrading, certain events can happen. These events can range from meteors falling down, to fog covering the city, to Dynablades showing up. Once the time limit is up, the game will choose a stadium event for the players to compete in with the stat boosts they've collected. These events can range from a battle royale, fight to the death, high jump, long jump, or even fighting King Dedede. Whoever wins the event is the winner of the City Trial match. This game mode is actually the best part of the game. Exploring the city is so much fun and the events can turn super chaotic. And I can tell you with certainty that playing this game mode with friends is the experience that everyone loves about this game. All in all though, I can't give the gameplay of this game anything more than a kind of middle-of-the-road rating. Even though City Trial is the reason people play this game, that's only 1/3 of the gameplay. Air Ride and Top Ride get boring pretty damn quick. With all that in mind, the gameplay of Kirby's Air Ride gets a C+. This game looks and sounds amazing. The graphics in Kirby Air Ride still hold up and are honestly some of the best Kirby has ever looked in 3D to date. The music, oh man, it's so good. Some of these tracks are just stuck in my head all the time, and some of them were even used in the anime. They definitely didn't skimp out in the presentation department, which is funny since that was the #1 complaint when they were developing this game. With all that in mind, Kirby Air Ride's presentation gets an A+. To complete Kirby Air Ride, you must complete all 360 challenges in the game, 120 in Air Ride, 120 in Top Ride, and 120 in City Trial. I did not do this. For one thing, I just don't have time to do this many challenges in the game if I want this review to come out on time. I tried, I really tried, but some of these challenges are so ridiculous. Some of the times the game expects you to get are barely attainable. I play as perfect as I possibly can, and even then I miss the time by like 2 seconds. I feel like I need to be a speedrunner to be able to complete this game. Like I said in the Kirby's Avalanche review, I can't recommend completing a game that I can't be bothered to complete myself. If you do want to see me complete this game on a live stream series, let me know and I'll definitely stream the struggle. Kirby Air Ride is fun, to a degree. As a single player experience, it's okay. City Trial is fun to play over and over, but the rest of the game modes are pretty mediocre and get boring after a while. As a multiplayer experience, however, I'd still only really recommend City Trial. Yeah, just having a racing mode with very few stages and a Top Ride mode that is just a watered down version of Air Ride. It doesn't have the long-lasting replayability that City Trial does, or even games like Mario Kart. Plus, the stars that you unlock are just weird and hinder your gameplay more than it helps. It doesn't feel balanced at all. Regardless though, the game looks and sounds stellar for when it came out. With all that in mind, Kirby Air Ride gets my overall rating of a B-. Not a terrible spin-off party game, but never a first choice. Thank you everyone so much for watching this video, and I hope you guys enjoy the new format of the retrospectives. If you like what you see, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell. All the social media are in the description below, so check them out as well. We also got merch in the description. Next week, we'll be looking at the next Kirby game in the lineup, Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. But if you're too impatient to wait a week, you can become a channel member and watch it right now. I'm Bottles, and I bid you, my well-esteemed guests, adieu.